When the user press this send button, then the message will be sent. And that is, of course, first of all, for now we will implement the text message feature. Then we will move to the attach files, and then of course sending images as a message to the receiver, or you can say to user data, or to user who is Michael Clark, or any user which the user will choose from the contact list. So let's just start working on that. So in here on our messages widget, let's close all the other ones. In here in our text field, where we have this floating action button, okay, the floating action button, which is the send button. When the user tap on it, we will call the method, let's give it name as send message. So we call this method send message here. We will implement it now. So let's implement it here above the widget build. First of all, we will get the text from the text field. So we can say message text editing controller dot text dot trim, which simply means if there is any extra space in a message which the user type, which the user is trying to send, then we will remove those extra spaces from it. Okay, and now we will assign it to a string type variable, which will be msg, which means message text, and we will check if message text dot is not empty. If it is not empty, only then we will proceed and send the message. Otherwise, if the user has not yet write anything in the text field and click the send button, then it will not work. So we can say string from user ID. We have to get that user ID from user data dot user ID, which is UID. Now from user ID, you already know it is the logged in user ID. Okay, final message. We need to create quickly a model class for messages data. So right click on, for handling the messages data, so right click on models, new dot file, and we will give it name as messages, only message. Okay, because per message, each message information we will manage using this model class. So message, the name of this will be message class message. So it will have the UID, that is which user is, to which user this message belongs, that is who write this, and then of course the text of that message, and then of course what is the date and time on which this message is sending or sent. So we can say at that time, this dot user ID, this dot text, this dot date time, map string dynamic, to JSON, or you can say to map. This time it is overall map, so you can say to map. Map message. First we have the UID. Please use the same variables name and same key names for saving message in the database. Okay, so we have UID, then the text of that message, and then of course the date time, and then we will return that map message. So now come back here to the messages widget, and we can say message, which is our model class. Okay, this one. Okay, model slash messages message dot dot. Let me show it to you. Okay, message dot dot. So to this, first the UID, that is from which user we are sending this message to, or you can simply set to which user belong this specific message. So that's why the UID of that user, then the message text, what is the text which the user wants to send, and then the date time. So the date time will be timestamp dot now dot to string. So this message has this complete information about that specific message which the user is trying to send. It has the user ID by whom it is sending, the message text, and the time, that is at which time it is sending. Okay, then after it, to which user we are sending this. So we will give it name as to user ID, and of course it is to user data. So widget dot to user data dot UID. Okay, that person UID. Now saving this specific message inside the database, we need a key. Each message which will have its own key using which we can recognize each message. So we can say message ID date time dot now dot milliseconds since epoch dot to string. So now as we have the message data, we have the from user ID, that is from whom it is sending, to whom it is sending, that is to which user it is sending, and also we have the message ID. Now is the time to save this in the database. So we can say save message. We will save first for the sender. So save message to sender, and then save message for sender, and save message for receiver. Now what it means, let's just implement it. Also, one more thing which we will done is save the message to the recent chats. Okay, so that we can display it on our recent chats tab at the left side. So we can say save chat for recents. Okay, and it is for the sender. Similarly, here we will do save chat for recents. Here it will be receiver. Now when I say sender simply means from user ID, and receiver simply means to user ID. Okay, so one by one, let's implement it. Save message to database. As it is for the sender, so we will pass some parameter to it. First is the from user ID, second thing is the to user ID, that is from this user, this message we are sending to this user, and it will be saved in the database. Let me just complete this. The message which contain the message information, and then of course the message ID for saying this specific message. Okay, so save message to database. Similarly, save message for receiver. So here first we will have to user ID and then from user ID. Now as I told you, what we are doing here is we are saving the message to the sender records, and we are saving that same message to the receiver record. So let's just implement this save message to database. We will implement it above the widget build. Let's implement this here. As we are passing these parameters, so we have to receive it in here like this, and then we are going to create a reference, and the reference will be, we will have a main collection by the name messages. Under that messages main collection, we will start saving each and every message from different users. So as you know, each message, for example, first from user ID dot collection to user ID, and under that we will save the message. So each message has its own ID, message ID dot set, and we will set the message to it. So message dot to map, and once this message is saved, we want to make sure that our editing controller, which is message text editing controller, we have to remove the previous text from it.